Good morning, all of you. So, in this lecture of electronic circuits, we would be continue the topic non-ideal current voltage characteristics of MOSFET. In the last lecture, we have seen that input and output impedance of common drain circuit, as well as we have started topic non-ideal current voltage characteristics, where we have learned about the finite output resistance. Now today, we would be start with the topic body. So up to this point, during the discussion or derivation of the MOSFET circuits, we have assumed that the substrate or the body is connected to the source terminal. And for this bias condition, threshold voltage is a constant quantity. But in the ICs or integrated circuits, where n number of MOSFETs are connected in a single chip, the substrate of all the n channel MOSFETs are usually common and are tied to the most negative potential in the circuitry. Like this. This is the one of the example of a very simple IC where two n-channel MOSFETs are fabricated in series in the same p-type substrate. This is the p-type substrate that is common to both of the MOSFET M1 and M2. And if you have to see the structure, the source terminal of S1 is here and the drain terminal of S1 is here, and that is also same the source terminal of M2, means drain of M1 and drain of source of M2 are using the same n type n plus doping matrix, means both are sharing the same terminal here in this side, and the drain terminal of M2 is. So this is the one of the very simplest example where we use the common substrate for more than the one number of n channel MOSFETs, and this is the gate that is having the voltage of Vi for M1, and the gate of the M2 is connected to the VDD. So if you have to see, the p type of the substrate is common to two transistors. The drain of M1 is common to the source of M2. When the two transistors are conducting, there is a non-zero drain to source voltage on M1, which means that the source of M2 is not at the same potential as the substrate. So as we know that substrate terminal is always at the lowest potential as per the literature available of the MOSFET, and here also from the diagram it is very much clear. Substrate is connected to the ground, and as there is a positive drain to source voltage for M1, that means obviously the source terminal of M2 is not connected to the lowest potential. It is having some finite value. And this bias condition means a zero or reverse bias voltage exists across the source substrate PN junction for M2. And a change in source substrate junction voltage changes the threshold voltage, and this effect is called as the body effect. This effect is called as the body. So what is the reason to for the generation of this body effect? Non-zero reverse bias voltage existing between the source substrate PN junction, and because of this reverse biasing, what happens? There is a change in source substrate junction voltage. It would be responsible for change in the threshold voltage. So now your threshold voltage is not a constant quantity, it is a variable parameter. So we can again see through this diagram, source of M2 and substrate is a common P type. This is the N type source, and it is the substrate is a P type. So whatever the PN junction is establishing between this area, as the source is at the higher potential and substrate is at the lower potential, so there is a reverse bias across this PN junction. And because of this reverse biasing, what happens? A small change in this voltage, so source to body voltage, there would be some change in the threshold voltage. And because of that, threshold voltage would be not a variable parameter. And this effect is called as a body effect. Means here substrate would be play a significant role for the operation of this MOSFET. And this is the symbol, you can say, that is shown here for the N channel device having the body effect. So what is the difference in this particular symbol and the whatever the previous symbol we have referred? Again, this is the enhancement type, because these all three area, drain, body and source, are isolated with each other. Okay, and channel is not formed initially, so it is a enhancement type MOSFET. This is the gate that is isolated with the rest of the terminals. In the regular MOSFET, this body is connected to the or shorted to the source. But in this case, here, in this case, this is isolated with the, this is not shorted with the source. And this is the case according to our reference diagram for the MOSFET M2. So as body or substrate terminal is not shorted with the source, there is a finite voltage difference between body and the source terminal, that is VSB. Okay, and this VSB is responsible for changing the value of the threshold voltage. So that would be defined with the help of the formula of the threshold voltage, considering the body effect. So to maintain the zero or reverse bias source substrate PN junction, we must always VSB, source to body voltage, should be greater than or equal to 0. And for this condition, the threshold voltage is defined by the equation number 6. And equation number 6 says that now threshold voltage is a variable parameter. This is the VTN is equal to VTN naught plus gamma root under twice of pi f plus VSB minus twice of pi f, square root of twice of pi f. So what are these parameters? So first of all, VTN naught, that is nothing but the threshold voltage for VSB is 0. If VSB is 0, this term would be cancelled out. Only VTN is equal to VTN naught. And gamma is what? Gamma is called bulk threshold or body effect parameter. So it is also called a body effect parameter, gamma. And it is related to the device properties. Gamma is related to the device properties, and typically its value is equal to what? 0.5 volt to the power 1 by 2 because it is a square root term unit is there. And what is the value of phi f is here? Phi f is what? Phi f is a semiconductor parameter. Semiconductor parameter. So in this way, we have seen the all aspect of the body effect. So here threshold voltage is depending upon the voltage VSB. If VSB is 0, threshold voltage is become a constant parameter. Now we have to see the next non-ideal characteristics of this. MOSFET is sub-threshold conduction. So what is the sub-threshold conduction? When if we consider the ideal current voltage relationship for the N-channel MOSFET biased in saturation region, then the equation is ID is equal to Kn VGS minus VTN whole square. Now taking the square root of both the sides of the equation. So what we obtain? We obtain square root of the ID. It is equal to square root of Kn into VGS minus VTN. And this is a very important relationship because this relationship says that square root of ID is linearly related to the VGS or linear function of the VGS. Now we have to try to understand this particular statement with the help of this graph. In this figure 42, this is the graph plotted between the square root of the current ID and VGS. You can consider it is one of the transfer characteristics, like a transfer characteristics of the MOSFET. Here we have considered the MOSFET is biased in the saturation region, and when it is biased in the saturation region, initially when the MOSFET is turned off means VGS is less than threshold voltage, so MOSFET is turned off. But once it would be reach to the threshold voltage or it is greater than the threshold voltage, VGS is greater than threshold voltage, your MOSFET would be turned on and there is some measurable drain current would be generated, and as we increase the VGS, your drain current is increases. Okay, so square root of ID would be also increases linearly with respect to the VGS, and this is the saturation region. This is the region that is called as the saturation region. Now, and this is also ideal characteristics, the pink color line. If you have to see the experimental characteristics or the actual characteristics of the MOSFET, so this is the dashed line which is showing the experimental. So what is the meaning of this particular? Why there is a difference between ideal and the experimental? So we have tried to understand it in the reverse manner. Suppose your transistor is conducting, MOSFET is conducting in saturation region, and you are getting some finite amount of drain current. But if suppose your all of a sudden your VGS would be decreased below the threshold voltage. Suppose your VGS would be decreased below the threshold voltage. Then what happens? Then as per the ideal characteristics, it should be ID would be 0. As per ideal characteristics, your ID should be 0. But practically it does not become 0. There is some amount of finite current is still present. And to make a drain current 0, it would be take some amount of time. When you suddenly decrease the VGS below the threshold voltage, your current would be not all of a sudden goes to 0. It would be take some amount of time, and slowly it would be decreases and goes to the value of 0. Okay, means below the threshold voltage, still your MOSFET is conducting, and there is some significant amount of current is flowing in the MOSFET. and this current is called as the sub-threshold current. But if you are using a single MOSFET, this sub-threshold current does not play a significant role. You can ignore this or you can neglect this. But if you are working with the ICs where the thousands of MOSFETs are connected in a single chip, at that time, this small sub-threshold current would be play a significant role, and it would be contribute a significant amount of power dissipation in the ICs. Okay, so this small sub-threshold current would be multiplied or added in IC, and it would be the result is that there is significant amount of drain current would be produced, and that would be responsible for generation of the power dissipation that can't be ignored or that can't be neglected. So this is one kind of the drawback of the MOSFET. So this is all about the sub-threshold condition. Now the another kind of the non-ideal IV characteristic, that is called breakdown effect. So what is the breakdown effect? If we have to be see, so breakdown effect is what? Several possible breakdown effects may occur in the MOSFET. The drain to substrate PN junction may break down if applied drain voltage is too high and avalanche multiplication. So this breakdown is very much similar the breakdowns we have learned in the semiconductor physics. So one of the possible breakdown could be in the MOSFET is the avalanche breakdown, and where it would be happen when the drain to substrate PN junction is largely reverse biased. Means when you have to increase the drain voltage too high, and what is the reason? Generally in the saturation region, the drain to source voltage is greater than the drain to source VDS is greater than VDS sat, and if you would be keep increasing and increasing the drain to source voltage, your current would be not increase, it will be remains constant. But what happens? The collision of the electron and holes would be increases, or the recombination rate of electrons and holes would be increases across this reverse bias PN junction in the space charge region. And because of that, what happens? This would be multiplied. This recombination would be multiplied, and it would be responsible for the breakdown of this particular PN junction, and this is called as the avalanche breakdown. This is the one of the breakdown occurs in the MOSFET. Another kind of the breakdown is called the punch through. So how it is happens, as the size of the devices becomes smaller, then what happens? Another breakdown mechanism called the punch through would be significant. So punch through occurs when the drain voltage is large enough for the depletion region around the drain to extend completely through the channel to source terminal, and this effect also causes the drain to increase rapidly with only a small increase in the drain to drain voltage. So for the small MOSFETs, means when you have to be go into the IC. So what happens in the ICs? In the ICs, as the density of the MOSFET would be increases, so your size of the MOSFET would be become smaller and smaller. So your drain source would become very much near to each other. And at that moment, if the drain voltage is large, enough that the depletion region, because there is a drain to substrate, a reverse bias condition is there, so there is some depletion region would be formed around the drain across the channel or as well. And when you would increase the drain voltage in these small MOSFETs, then this depletion would be region would be extended through the channel to the source terminal, and this would be cause the drain, as we would be increase the more drain current because of the increase in the drain voltage. Then what happens, as this depletion region increases, area of the depletion region increases, a very small change in the drain voltage would be result in the very high change in the drain current. So this is called the punch through. And obviously, when the current would be changes rapidly with a small change in the drain voltage, it would be contribute for the significantly the power dissipation of the device. So that is the second kind of the breakdown could be there. The third kind of the breakdown mechanism is called the near avalanche or snapback breakdown. This breakdown process is due to the second order effects within the MOSFET. We know that MOSFET is a non-linear device. That's why we have to see in the current equation ID is equal to Kn Vgs minus Vtn whole square. So it is following the square law. So it is a non-linear device. Okay. So that would be also responsible for the some second order effects. So this breakdown is mainly due to the second order effects. So what happens when the source substrate drain structure is, you can consider a source substrate drain structure. It is one kind of the PN junction. It is just like a bipolar transistor. Bipolar transistor is either NPN or PNP. The source is N, substrate is P, drain is again N. So you can consider it as an NPN bipolar structure. So as the device size shrinks, means the size would become small and small. So we would be begin to see a parasitic bipolar transistor action with the increase in the drain voltage. And this parasitic action would be enhance the breakdown effect. This parasitic action means what? As you're increasing the drain voltage, there is some parasitic capacitance would be developed between the PN junctions. CDS, CGS, or CSB, CDB, like this. Between all junctions, there is some parasitic capacitance would be generated, and that would be play a significant role for the MOSFET operation, and because of that, this kind of the breakdowns could be occurs. That is called the snapback breakdown. So this is all about the breakdown effect. The last kind of the effect or non-ideal IV characteristics of the MOSFET is temperature effect. So we have to see your threshold voltage and conduction parameter Kn, both are the function of the temperature, and both are responsible for deciding the drain current. So the magnitude of the threshold voltage decreases with the temperature. Means as the temperature increases, threshold voltage decreases, which means drain current would be increases with the temperature for the constant value of VGS. So as per the formula, we know that as I am saying that your threshold voltage is decreases as we increases the temperature. So, and you have keeping the VGS constant. So where Tn is decreases means your ID would be increases. So with the temperature increment, your drain current would be also increased. However, the conduction parameter Kn, the conduction parameter Kn is a direct function of mobility. We know that Kn is equal to mu n Cox W by L. That is a direct function of inversion carrier mobility, means mu n. Here the carrier mobility is because of electron, so it is called inversion carrier mobility. So mu n. So Kn is directly proportional to the mobility, means mu n. And we know that from the semiconductor physics, the mobility of electron would be decreases as we increase the temperature. So as the temperature increases, mobility would be decreased. As the mobility decreases means what? Conduction parameter value would be decreased. So as the temperature increases, your conduction parameter value would be decreases. And your conduction parameter would be linearly related to the drain current. So obviously, as the temperature increases, conduction parameter decreases, your drain current would be also decrease. So the temperature dependence on mobility is larger. Temperature dependence of the mobility is larger than that of the threshold voltage. In the first case, threshold voltage decreases with the increase in temperature, so your current is increases. In the second case, conduction parameter is decreases with respect to the increase in the temperature, so your drain current is decreased. But what is the resultant effect of this increase in the temperature? The resultant effect would be depending upon the mobility of the electrons or the conduction parameter, because temperature dependence of the mobility is larger than that of the threshold voltage. So the net effect of the increasing the temperature is decreasing in the drain current for the given value of VGS. And this particular results provide a negative feedback condition in the power MOSFETs. Okay. For the power MOSFET, it is little bit different from the general purpose MOSFET, but it would be create a negative feedback condition in the power MOSFET. So a decrease the value of Kn inherently limits the channel current and provide the stability for a power MOSFET. So in this way we have seen that what is actually the effect of the temperature. As the temperature increases, there is a decrease in the drain current. So these are the all non-ideal current voltage characteristics of the MOSFET. First we have seen the finite output resistance, then the body effect, then the sub-threshold conduction, then the breakdown effect, then the temperature. These 5 non-ideal current voltage characteristics are very important to understand the function of the or operation of the MOSFET, also as per the examination purpose. At the last of this lecture, we have to be just see quick comparison of all 3 configurations. So if you have to be, I have compared here on the certain parameters. First is the voltage gain. So in the common gate, voltage gain is the highest, and lowest is in the common drain, that is always less than 1, and in the common source it is medium. Similarly, the current gain is lowest in the common gate, highest in the common drain. That's what the common drain is called the current booster or current driver circuit we have to be used generally, and it is medium in the common source. What is the relationship between input and output signal? It is in phase for the common gate, in phase for the common drain, but 180° out of phase for the common source. Similarly, input resistance is lowest in the common gate but highest in the common drain circuit, and medium in the common source. At the last, output resistance is highest in common gate and lowest in the common drain. Again, in the common source it is medium. If you have to see all this comparison, in the common source all the parameters are in the medium range. Either it is a voltage gain, either it is a current gain, either it is a input resistance or the outputs. That's why this configuration is best suitable for the application of the amplifier. It is best suitable for the application of the audio. All the parameters are balanced here. Nothing is very much high, nothing is very much low. Okay. And common gate you can use in either the pre-amplifier. It is basically used in the output stage of any amplifier circuit. So this is the comparison of all these 3 configurations. Out of these 3, we have learned all of these 2 as per our syllabus. So for today we have to be stop here. In the next lecture, we would be learn the MOSFET scale, okay, and a small geometry effect. Thank you all of you for listening this lecture.